One of our audience commented on a video on our YouTube channel and asked about a problem. The problem is like this. There are three numbers separated by commas in a single cell. In the adjacent cell, there is a number in percentage format. Then the commenter wants to use the text function and the ampersand operator to join them in a single cell and highlight these numbers in descending order with 4 different colors. But it's not possible to apply conditional formatting to individual parts of a cell's content. Excel's formatting options typically work on the entire cell content, not specific portions within the cell. However, you can achieve your goal using VBA macros. Hey there, Excel enthusiasts! Welcome to Exceldemy, your go-to destination for mastering Excel and Excel VBA related challenges. I'm Shahriar Abrar Rafid, and in today's video, I'll be showing a detailed guide on how to highlight numeric values based on rank in a single cell. So let's roll up our sleeves and get started. For this tutorial, I'll be using Microsoft Excel 365. I'll use a sample dataset as an example. For instance, the dataset has two different columns. They are numbers and percentage under columns B and C respectively. Here, the data starts from cell B5. In column D, I'll get the combined output highlighted with different colors based on their rank. I'll do the work with the help of some VBA macros. To bring your attention, all the VBA macros that I will show in this video are developed by one of our brightest team members, Lutfur Rahman Shimanto. Currently, he is working as an Excel and VBA developer in our project. As the entire process will depend on the VBA macro, I need a place to insert my VBA code. To do this, first I have to enable the Developer tab. Right-click on any tab on the ribbon and select Customize the Ribbon option. In the Excel Options window, check the box of Developer option and click OK. Hence, the Developer tab is now visible. Now, go to the Developer tab. In the Code group of commands, select Visual Basic. It will open the Microsoft Visual Basic for Applications window. In the Project Explorer section, you can see the name of Sheet 1. Double-click on it to insert a sheet module. Alternatively, right-click on the Sheet Name tab on the worksheet. Click on the View Code option from the context menu. It will do the same. I'll insert the VBA code inside Sheet 1. So, this VBA macro will work for Sheet 1 only. Now, I'll paste my first VBA code into the VB editor. You can find all the codes linked in the description box. By writing the line, I declare a sub-procedure title Advanced Apply Formula to columns. While writing the sub-procedure name, you cannot give space between the words. VBA doesn't support this. Here, I define some variables named lastRow and lastRow D, which are long types. The long data type holds longer values or numbers that the integer data type cannot hold. Another long variable declared as I is for the loop counter. The lastRow variable is assigned to the row number of the last non-empty cell in column B of sheet 1. Presently is the row 9. So, in this stage, 9 will be assigned to the lastRow variable. As this is dynamic, it will change whenever we input or delete data in column B. Here, I have used a for loop and set I is equal to 5 since my dataset starts from row 5. The loop runs up to the value of the last row variable, which is the 9th row, as this is the last row in column B containing data. Next, I have declared two variables named value B and value C as variant data types, which means they can hold different types of data like numbers, text, dates, etc. The This workbook property represents the current Excel workbook that I am working on. I have entered Sheet 1 in the .sheets property because Sheet 1 is the name of my worksheet. You may need to change this if your sheet has a different name. In the .cells property, I used I as row index argument and B as column index argument. This indicates the value in the B5 cell since the starting value of I is 5. To sum up, this line of code stores the value of cell B5 of the Sheet 1 worksheet of the current workbook in the value B variable. Similarly, the next line of code stores the value of cell C5 of the Sheet 1 worksheet in the value C variable. The if statement checks whether both value B and value C variables are not empty. If valid, it applies a formula to column D in the same row I that combines values from columns B and C with specific formatting. The commenter wanted to use this formula and we have incorporated it in our code. If either value B or value C variable is empty, that means if one of the cells in column B or column C in the specific row I is empty, then the value of cell in column D in the same row I will be cleared. Here I adjust the width of column D to fit its content. Similarly, last row D variable is assigned to the row number of the last non-empty cell in column D of sheet 1. Let's close the Project Explorer for better view. These codes are responsible for copying the values from column D from row 5 to the last row and pasting them back as values to remove formulas. Application.cutCopy mode is set to false to clear the copy mode, otherwise the range remains bounded with dashed borders. Then I'll create another sub-procedure for our task. I'll paste its VBA code into the same sheet module. By writing this line, I declared a sub-procedure named Advanced Change Text Colors. This line instructs VBA to continue executing the code even if an error occurs without showing an error message. It declares a variable named WS. And this line creates a reference to sheet 1 of the workbook containing the code. Here I have declared some required variables and an array. Using this line, I will find the last non-empty row in column D. This code uses the Excel up direction from the bottom of the column. This loop iterates through each cell in column D from the 5th row to the last used row. This initializes the max values array to all zeros to store the top 4 maximum values found in each cell content. Here 0, 1, 2 and 3 are the array index numbers. The values within the current cell are split using a comma delimiter and stored in the cell values array. This counts the number of values in the cell. Here I added 1 because the index number starts from 0 in the array in VBA. Another loop processes each value in the cell. It removes any trailing percentage sign from the value using the replace and trim functions and converts it to a numeric value. Then assign this value to the value str variable. Here, the write function finds the rightmost content of the cell value. If this is a percentage sign, then this will divide the value in the value str variable with 100 and convert it from decimal to percentage. And the cdbl function converts a value to a double data type. If the value isn't in percentage format, then it keeps it as it is. Just convert it to double data type. The for and if statements rank the 4 numbers and store them in the max values array. These lines of code loop through each value in cell values variable again. It converts the value to a double considering percentage like previously. Later, it compares the value with the max values array to determine its position. Finally, it changes the font color of characters in the cell based on the position of values using RGB colors. The font.color property is set to the corresponding RGB color. If the value matches max value 0, then the characters are colored in red. If the value matches max values 1, then the characters are colored in blue. If value matches max values 2, then the characters are colored in green. And if the value matches with max values 3, then the characters are colored in orange. This line marks the end of the Advanced Change Text Color sub-procedure. Then I'll create an event named Worksheet Change. If any value changes in this worksheet, this event will run automatically. Paste the code into the sheet module. Here I have declared an event handler that triggers whenever a change is made in the worksheet. The parameter target represents the range of cells that were changed. I declared a variable named WS as the worksheet type. Here the variable WS is used to reference the sheet 1 of the workbook containing the code. This line checks if the changed cells, which is the target range, intersect with column C of the worksheet. If the condition is met, it means that a change has occurred in column C. This line temporarily turns off event handling while the code changes to the worksheet. This line of code calls the advanced apply formula to column subroutine when a change is detected in column C. And this line is responsible for calling the Advanced Change Text Colors sub-procedure. Again, this line re-enables event handling after the changes are made. The end-if statement closes the conditional block. Likewise, the end sub statement marks the end of the event procedure. You don't need to run this macro like the typical one. It will operate on its own when a change happens inside the sheet. Now, let's close the VB editor. Whenever I change the value in column C, then the event will run and change the output. Let's see it. I'll edit it and again write it at 70%. Press enter. And see, our code has run and giving us the output successfully. In column B, you have to input numbers using commas as separators. Make sure to put a comma after the third number. Here, I'll insert 8, 9 and 12. 8, space, 9, space, 12, comma. In column C, you can insert either a decimal number or in percentage form. Let's try with a decimal number first. Here, I'll type 0.56 and enter. Here, the macro converted the decimal number to percentage automatically. You can see that the numbers are highlighted with the desired color according to their rank in the cell. The largest number is colored red and the second largest is colored blue, then green and finally orange. Now let's put a number in the percentage format in column C and see the result. Copy these values in the lower cell. Now I'll place 65%. Press enter. And look, this also works. One thing to remember, you cannot insert more than 3 numbers in a cell in column B. If you do that, the highlighting doesn't work properly. Let's see it. Here I'll insert 14 also. And place a comma. Press enter. Look, the output isn't updating because I didn't change the value in column C. So let's change it. 0.61 and press enter. Look, the code is now giving us erroneous output. It's highlighting 2 numbers with the same color. The result from 8 to 14 is right, but 61% is highlighted with the wrong color. In this tutorial, I have shown all the necessary steps to highlight numeric values based on rank in a single cell. Follow them carefully to do it yourself. Download the workbook from the description box so you can practice it yourself. If you have any questions, suggestions or feedback, please let us know in the comment section. You can have a glance at exceldemy.com or join our thriving Exceldemy community forum where you can post your Excel and VBA challenges and get solutions from experts and fellow users. If you like this video, consider subscribing and click the bell icon. Thanks for watching.